He ends the call by saying cryptically, "I still got things left to do," and breaks his phone in half. The one who has destroyed everything in his path must leave no trace. Alright. That's it for the scene. The rest is about 12 pages of interviewing. I'll show you the pictures. Jesse hugging a skull. I think that's from Shakespeare or something. And then it shows the cast's favorite moments. Brian says it's when Walt watches Jane die. Aaron Paul says the awkward dinner scene at the White House, season 5. Anna Gunn Skylar says when Walt discovers the money in the crawl space is missing. Dean Norris Hank says when Hank has a showdown with Walt in his garage. Betty Brant said Marie said when Skylar stages an intervention to urge Walt to seek treatment for his lung cancer. Season 1. Bob Odenkirk Saul says after his ricin revelation, Jesse brutally confronts Saul in his office, and R.J. Mitty Walt Jr. says when Jesse explains the cowhouse line to Walt while they're out in the desert. The cowhouse line. And here's Breaking Bad's Lost storylines. It's got Marie and Badger teaming up there, and Badger's got a flaming arrow on his crossbow, and there's a car exploding in the background, see? And it says Jesse calls in fired up expert archer Badger. The cops impound Jesse's car, which contains evidence tying Jesse and Walt to Tuco. The solution: Jesse recruits Badger, who has a crossbow. Walt and Jesse construct a flaming arrow, which Badger shoots into the police impound and destroys Jesse's car. Reason for rejection: in the end, we had other things to do. I like the magnet idea better. It's more scientific. Okay. I think they should have kept that in. And here, if all the seasons were 16 episodes, like Walking Dead, they'd have time for all these. Alright, here's another storyline that didn't make it past the writing room. Marie shoots the delivery guy. Convinced there is a bad guy lurking around her house, Marie opens fire on a UPS guy by mistake. The gun would be purple. The idea stemmed from Brant's desire to shoot someone on the show. We loved it. We didn't know what it meant. We knew where it would. We didn't know where it would go, says Vince Gilligan. When Betsy reads this, she's going to be upset with me. Why didn't I get to do that? The reason for rejection: It felt a little too broad and silly. Well, maybe if she, like, just shot him in the leg, it'd be funny. Walt takes on a high school bully. Walter Jr. comes home with a black eye, leading Walt and Skyler to think he's being bullied by a classmate. For revenge, Walt plants pot in the student's locker, only to find out that Walter Jr. was the one bullying the kid, who fought back. Why it was rejected. The stakes weren't high enough. We were better served by keeping Walter Jr. a little pure. It's been really useful for us dramatically. I've never seen a handicapped kid be the bully, so that'd be something new. Never seen that happen in real life or TV. A handicapped kid has never been the bully. Alright. Heisenberg opens a pharmacy. Walter switches to either bootleg pharmaceuticals, Viagra, or meth sold in capsules marked with a special logo. There was also talk of having him make plastic explosives. Ultimate reason for rejection. Ultimately, it was like the shows about meth. The blue meth is so iconic, it's not really hard to get a prescription for a lot of these drugs. And then there's here's a season guide. I won't read that. Here's what they think is the best episode of the season. For season 1, their favorite episode was episode 3. For season 2, their favorite episode was when Jane died. Season 1 was when Crazy 8 died. Season 3, his favorite episode is the Fly episode. Season 4 is when they kill Gus. Season 5, their favorite episode is the train episode. And then here's Walt and Jesse hanging out with Vince Gilligan. This is season 4 because he's got the green shirt on. That's probably when they're on the roof. The very last scene of the season 4, or around the very last scene of the season 4 finale. Okay, and here's another cool photo. They're drinking wine now, and they must really beat the crap out of each other. And then the last thing is it acknowledges the fan theory of when of how Walt takes on the traits of the people he killed, and then it says the theory that Skylar's dead by then the 52, and then if you don't know about that fan theory, look it up. It's basically like every time Walt kills or is the cause of death is Walt, he takes some of their character traits. So just Google Breaking Bad character trait fan theory. But then it criticizes the fan theory. It says it's an interesting idea, but the theory is far from airtight. For instance, one habit Walt supposedly picked up from Gus, folding a towel under his knees before vomiting in the toilet, happened when they were in separate countries, so Walt would not have even known about the ritual. But is he deliberately taking on the inherited character traits, or is it just like an Easter egg that really doesn't like go with the story? It's just like a thing they do on the show to see if people can catch it. But anyway, plus there are several victims: Tyrus, Hector, Salamanca, Jane, who Walt hasn't mimicked. As far as it is to predict how it'll all end, there's really no way to know whose door will get knocked on and who will do the knocking. So, yeah, I agree. It's a good fan theory, but the problem is some of the things that they list on there I don't agree with, like taking Mike's drink, he had it on the rocks. I don't agree with that, because Walt must have always done that, because Hank knew when in that episode when Hank asked him on the rocks, he assumed on the rocks. So that means he must have remembered Walt was doing that before. So that's stupid. So if you're gonna like defend this fan theory, you gotta pick the character traits that are actually work. Alright, that's about all. Then there's an article on the Shining sequel, if anyone's interested. But anyway, that's about it.